He's like, I can't do it. It's too much labor. This is what I will do. I'll sell you like hanging weight beef, and I'll give you a killer price on it, and you can send someone up and I'll train them to butcher it. And I was like, all right. I am the original, the OG.
Okay, so that's interesting. Okay.
Right, but I didn't want to. I was like, so I met with like Mark and Andrew and Sheffy, and I was like, look, we have a problem. Like, Josh is going to stop selling us burger or meat unless we send someone up there and they learn how to butcher, and then he's going to send hanging weight down here, and then we're going to have to butcher it and grind it. And we need to find whoever this person is if this is what we're going to do. It's basically like asking everyone who is like a line cook, like, hey, this butcher position is like coming open, do you want to do it? And everybody was like, no, like that sounds like my whole job would be prep work, which is what I like the least about my job. I prep things so that I can cook things. So everyone was like, no. And so they came back to me and they were just like, we're having some trouble. Mark and Andrew and Sheffy were sitting at a table out front of a diner, and I was walking past, and they were trying to figure out like how they were gonna like implement the whole thing and like what they needed to buy and all that stuff. And asked me, it was like, hey, do you know, like, how much do you think, like how much a cryovac is or something? And I was like, it should be, I mean, I'm guessing like $2,500 used. And they were like, and then they kind of looked at each other and they were like, and that was basically the moment. They were like, wait a minute, do you want to be the butcher? And I was like, okay. I mean, I went to the gym, but I was like, it's a completely different muscle set to like lift like 180 pound like arm chucks onto a table and, you know, all that. And I was like cutting myself. I'm like, actually, like my fingers are just like covered in scars from like where I kept cutting myself. And I was like, you know, just like I had like Band-Aids on, like literally four of my fingers the first week were cut, and I did it all in one day. And then they're wrapped with seafold paper towels and then plastic wrap and then a glove over that, and you know, I was miserable, you know, but it was interesting. I mean, my life got really miserable. Like for the next 6 months of my life, it was terrible. I worked like 14-hour days some days. I worked 6 days a week a lot. Josh is a weird guy. Like he really likes to butcher and make sausage and do all that stuff. He's always hated the retail aspect of it, despite the fact that he's good at it. He's just like, well, if I'm going to start, like I learned from my mistakes with Fleischer's, I'm going to start over and I'm going to re-examine this both from the point of view of like, well, it's obviously a lot less labor costs to have the meatomat, right? Because you only have to have the people that are like, as many people as it takes to cut up the amount of meat that needs to be cut up. You don't need like people at the counter all the time, you know, that's expensive.